In 2025, Democrats flipped 21% of GOP-held legislative seats. That's what we're going to look at today. As the year winds down, we're going to see how notable the gains were for the Dems. The party secured strong enough gains reminiscent of 2017. They won multiple new seats in New Jersey, Virginia, Iowa, and Mississippi. So this is from Bolts. The link will be down below in the description. Let's get down into it. It says, at the start of Donald Trump's first presidency in 2017, large Democratic victories in New Jersey and Virginia paired with overperformance in special elections foreshadowed a blue wave of 2018 midterms. Now that's all relevant because we're in a similar situation right now. Trump's back in office for a year. We're headed into the midterms. So far, Dems have made gains. If the end result next year is similar to 18, Dems are going to be in for a pretty nice night. It goes on to say, 8 years later, Trump's return to power has been followed by similar Republican setbacks, including Democrats' sweep of all 13 statewide elections that took place. So what's the bottom line here? Well, Democrats, buoyed by Trump's unpopularity and a fired-up base, flipped 21% of all GOP-held seats that were on the ballot in 25. So that's about 1/5 of all seats. That's kind of significant. But what does that 21% translate into? Well, Democrats gained 25 state Senate and House seats that were held by the GOP out of 118 that were resolved through regular or special elections. And the exclamation is, this swing is even stronger than in 2017, where Democrats flipped 20%. Now, that's similar, but it's slightly less. I think Republicans are clearly nervous about the midterms, and even though there's a lot of polarization out there, it's hard to imagine Dems not at least taking control of the U.S. House, if not picking up a couple of dozen seats. It's probably going to be less than an 18, but still, a big blue wave could be into that territory. And for more context, we've got Democrats gained their largest majority in the Virginia House since the 1980s, expanded control of the New Jersey Assembly, and they broke supermajorities for Republicans in the state Senates of Iowa and Mississippi. They also flipped a deep red state Senate seat in Pennsylvania and staged an upset in a Georgia district that Trump had carried by double digits. So yeah, the theme here is these are great signs for the Dems. And it says Republicans failed to flip any legislative seats this year, losing ground in New Jersey where Trump had hoped to make some gains, and failing to gain several districts in New York State. So what kind of gains are we looking at? Well, in the New Jersey Assembly, we've got Dems picking up 5 seats there. Now they're at 57 to 23. In the Virginia House, that was massive. They gained 13 seats, going from 51 to 49, all the way up to 64-36. And in special elections, again, in Georgia, we have Dems with 1 flip. In Iowa, they have 2. Mississippi, 3 of them. And Pennsylvania, 1. So 7 flips just in the specials. We've got the 25-seat swing from Republicans to Democrats. This year represents a shift of 9% out of the 271 elections that have resolved so far this year. In 2017, it was also a 9% shift against the GOP. It says other recent cycles didn't see this sort of swing. In 22, the GOP gained a net of 20 seats out of the thousands of districts on the ballot. It was a deflating midterm result in which they had high expectations. I think we all remember that one. Republicans hoping for that red wave under Biden, and it never materialized. They did flip control of the House, but I think the Supreme Court decision on abortion was the motivating factor that muted the Republican gains. They might have also had Republican governors in a couple more states. In 23, Democrats gained a net of 5 seats out of the more than 600 in play. And in 24, the GOP gained a net of 57 out of 6,000 contests. So in each of these cycles, the overall swing in partisan control was no more than 1 percentage point of all seats in play compared to the 9% in both 17 and 25. The gains the GOP had in 21 in Biden's first year were a 5-point shift in legislative seats. That's half of what the Dems just got in 25. So I think you get the idea. Dems looked demoralized after Harris took the loss to Trump. The party was in disarray. Their approval ratings are still in the toilet. But when it comes time to vote, Republicans are sitting out, Democrats are more motivated, some voters might be crossing over, and Dems were clearly starting to have success when it seemed like they hit bottom. The 4 points they highlight here are Democrats regain control of Virginia's state government. So they got a new trifecta there, and this chart covers the other trifectas for 26. I did a video on trifectas last week. So Dems looking like they're ready to get to work in Virginia. Then we've got New Jersey. Dems solidify control there. That was the big target Republicans were hoping would become a purple state. Totally didn't happen whatsoever. Hispanic voters went way back to the left, and the state is kind of back to where it was before 24 during that shock margin where Trump got it within 6. And then we've got Republicans lose their supermajorities in 2 states. These are the Senates in Iowa and Mississippi. Now, both have Republican governors, so it's not a huge deal. But if that changes in the future, then it's absolutely going to be pivotal. And then the final thing here is what lies ahead. Well, thousands of legislative seats plus 36 governorships will be on the ballot in 26. So theoretically, most of it is in play, but most of it's not going to pan out, but it's all about the sliver in the middle that could flip toward one side or the other. Democrats hoping that it's going to be more than a sliver. Both sides hoping to make and break some new trifectas. And the safe bet right now, I'd say, is Republicans not going to have a good night, but you never know what could happen. It'd be stupid if Republicans can see the iceberg ahead and they just go right into it and sink. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if the economy picks up. And I think if Harris were president right now, then Republicans would be making a lot of gains of their own. So everybody wants the presidency, but it seems like once you get there, then you start taking a big hit down ballot. Politics is certainly frustrating, but that's a look at the legislative changes and elections in 25. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about these results? Is it all about Republicans being complacent? Are Dems highly energized? How many voters are actually flipping? And whatever it is, how much success is that going to translate into for the Dems in the midterms? Can Republicans turn it around? Let me know down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.